Networking at events and conferences. The inspiration for this podcast comes from one very valuable event that happened for us. We were recently commissioned to do the networking strategy, create a networking experience for the G20 Summit, the YEA Summit that happened in New Delhi, 14th of July, right? To help people network better. People were coming from different countries. We created a small audio course for them to listen to before coming to the conference so that they could get more value out of it. And that is the inspiration behind this podcast today, that course. Okay. Now, if you're watching this particular podcast, that means networking is of interest to you. If you're watching this particular podcast, then probably it means that networking at events and conferences is of interest to you. And if that is, this is going to be something extremely valuable. Before we jump in, I want to bring in a distinction. This podcast is not about networking platforms. Some of this may overlap, but it's not particularly about networking platforms. Platforms like BNI or TIE or Fikir PhD, right? These we'll do a separate podcast for that. This is particularly for those events and conferences that you just go and attend. Maybe an annual conference happening somewhere within your city, outside of your city, outside of your country. You're going there, you're going to meet a bunch of people that you did not know from before. You want to network with them. You probably want to expand your business into a different country. That's why you're going and attending a conference, an exhibition, something like that. So this is particularly for that. Okay. Now, if attending networking events and conferences is of value to you, if that is what you want to do better at, get more result from, then this is going to be pretty interesting. Now let's look at the current reality. It's quite highly likely कि आप networking events पे जाते हो, you go to events, you meet people there, वहाँ से आते हो, and then nothing much follows through. How much value you're able to drive from the conference altogether is again a questionable thing. A lot of people are not able to drive that value. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं करते, मिलते हैं, cards exchange होते हैं, and then when they come back, they just get busy with other things. Does this happen with you? Just ask yourself. Okay. And today, we want to change that. Okay. In order to succeed at events and conferences, succeed at networking at events and conferences, this is what you got to do. In your mind, you got to, or on the paper, even better if you can do it on paper, divide the networking plan into 3 parts: before, during, and after. Yeah. A lot of people register and show up. That's it. And once they show up, they're like, okay, aage, now what do we do? Ab kya karna hai? Right. Don't do that. If you do that, stop doing that. It's so easy to really network at these events and conferences. And what you do is you divide it into before, during, and after. Now, before, what you got to do is, first of all, define what does success mean to you. Okay. You are probably going there to create new business opportunities. That's good. Okay, write that on a piece of paper. But keep in mind that you're not getting business at the conference. You may get the right contacts and connections. Then you have to be very specific about आपका इस conference पे goal है क्या? What is that you want to create from here? Right? It's unlikely that people are going to cut their check at the conference and give it to you. That is the meaning of business. तो आपको इस exactly define करना है कि अगर आपको वहाँ पे check नहीं मिलने वाला तो आपको क्या चाहिए? Do you want to get some demo bookings for your product? Do you want to get some conversations, a later appointment? Exactly what is that you're looking for? ये सबसे पहले define करना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. But then, don't make the mistake of just leaving it to this. Okay? What you got to do is you also got to add relationships to your goal, right? You're going to meet a lot of people at events and conferences who may fit your target audience segment, but may not be ready to buy from you today. And if you do not bring those relationships back with you, you're missing out a lot of value. Or there are other types of relationships, some people who inspire you, some interesting people that you've met, probably a couple of friends that you made, okay? So a good plan will have both the tangible, or so to say, the intangible, or the transactional and relational goals combined. Set both of them. Okay, that's number one. In the part of before, you also got to work on your mindset. Far too many people, it's unfortunate, far too many people today are going to these events and conferences thinking they're going to meet someone, they're going to give them their card, an introduction, and see if the other person is interested in buying what they're selling. And if they are, they're going to carry on the conversation. If they're not, they just out of courtesy take the card और आगे चले जाएंगे. Networking is about relationships. I know आपने ये पहले सुना हुआ है, but कितना समझा हुआ है वो मुझे नहीं पता. I hope आपने इसको समझा है. Right? But networking is about relationships. When people feel that you care about them, not care as in you want to become best friends or do business partnership, etc. Just care about them as a human being at the bare minimum, which means you don't just see the person in front of you as a prospect, as just a checkbook. You see the person as a person, right? When people get to sense that you're the kind of person who cares and is not just transactional in nature, the probability of you making the sale actually increases. This is how we human beings are designed. We are biased towards people we like. We are, right? Now, build that mindset that every person that you would meet at the conference, you're going to take one of the two things away. One, if there is a business opportunity, you take that away, right? But if not, at least a relationship. Now, I'm not saying कि आपको एक करना ही करना, हर किसी के साथ relationship बनाना है. If there's someone जिसके साथ आपका value system match नहीं है, perhaps not. Or if someone who's not interested in you, perhaps not. But उन सबको हटा देते हैं, वो 20, 30, 40, 50% होंगे. But there'll be 50% of other people जिनके साथ there'll be other opportunities. So when you come into this mindset that I don't just want transactions, I am looking for them. I do want them, but don't just want transactions. And I'm also open to building relationships, probably finding some mentors, getting some learning, giving mentoring, giving some learning, adding value in the life of people. How you approach people, when you come in this mindset, how you approach people changes, right? People can sense. मैं अपनी trainings में ना एक बात बहुत बार बोलता हूँ, सबको सबका सच दिखता है. Everyone can see everyone's truth. So if you're out there giving cards, collecting cards, hoping just to catch a fish, people can tell. And you know how many times people have, countless number of times people have come to me and said, Paritosh, we go to the events and conference, people say, yes, here's a card, send us an email, give us a call. And then they stop, we give them a call once, then they stop responding. Yes, they do. And they're right. They're well within their right to do that. You may feel offended listening to this, but you need to. If you're only going to see them as prospects, if you're not going to care about the journey, if you're not going to care about the goals, their challenges, their pain, तो उनका हक है आपको इग्नोर करना. आपका हक है उनको इग्नोर करना जो सिर्फ आपसे अपना मतलब निकालना चाह रहे हैं. Businesses are built on value exchange. It is not built on one-way traffic. बहुत simple science है. Okay. So इस mindset में आ जाओ that you want tangible gain from a networking event and also you want relationships. Okay. Then of course, there are basics like study the agenda. If there's an influencer you want to meet, study about them, get to know the influencer. One of the podcasts we'll do will also be on how to network with influencers and VIPs. We'll do that. Okay, so a couple of things. Number one, define what success means to you. Define what success means to you, number one. Two, build a mindset. Then three, study, go prepared. Okay, this is the before part. Let's come to the during part. Now during, number one, don't be I joke about this, I say card dispensing machine. वो लोग हैं ना जो हर किसी के पास जाते हैं, अपना कार्ड निकालते हैं, कार्ड देते हैं, पहले एक डीप ब्रेथ लेते हैं और फिर उनका elevator pitch start होता है. Hi, my name is Paritosh Pathak. I'm a strategic networking coach. Help business owners create breakthrough results with the power of strategic networking. My journey started like this. This is what inspired me. This is what we do. हम इनके साथ काम करते हैं, हम उनके साथ काम करते हैं, right? Don't do that. Don't do that, right? You start conversations by approaching people and talking to them about them. वो कौन है, वो क्या करते हैं, what inspires them, what motivates them, how long they've been in the business, उनके challenges क्या हैं, वो किस तरह के लोगों के साथ business करना चाह रहे हैं, किस चीज़ को अपना success मानते हैं, उनका सबसे बड़ा failure क्या है. हो सकता है आप ये सारे सवाल सबसे ना पूछ पाओ, जो पूछ. When you take interest in the person, when you start a conversation, it creates a phenomenon here called likability. Right? आप खुद सोच के देखो, सामने दो लोग हैं. One is coming, giving you card, giving the elevator pitch. And if you're not a prospect for them, just ignoring you and moving away. And someone who's not even giving their card to you, having a real conversation with you. Right? Which one would you lean towards? Obviously here. Right? So, इसको ना ईगो इशू बना लो. लाइफ में कुछ जगह ईगो होनी चाहिए, बहुत जगह नहीं होनी चाहिए, बट कुछ जगह होनी चाहिए. और यहाँ ईगो होनी चाहिए कि जब तक कोई आपका कार्ड मांगे ना देना नहीं. अब मंगवाओ कार्ड लोगों से. मांगना चाहिए लोगों को. Okay, so how does that happen? Number one, you approach people, you take interest in them. Okay, when someone is talking to you about you, थोड़ी देर में आप मुड़ के, you'll also start wondering, yeah, nice guy, nice person, nice girl. What did they do? And when you start wondering, you'll ask. Right? And when you'll ask, here's very interesting. जब आप किसी से उनका introduction मांगोगे ना, you will receive it 80% more. आपके barriers 80% down होंगे. You'll remember it 80% more. So कितनी बार होता है आप इवेंट्स कॉन्फ्रेंस में जाते हो, कार्ड्स कलेक्ट करते हो, शाम को अगले दिन कार्ड देखते हो, ये मैंने कब लिया, इस बंदे से मेरी कब बात हुई, ये कार्ड मेरे पास कहाँ से आया. Those were the conversations जहाँ पे कोई वैल्यू नहीं थी उनमें. Right? You don't remember. आपको ये भी नहीं पता उन कार्ड्स का क्या करना है. Right? And कार्ड्स की बात करें तो one very valuable important thing. कार्ड्स पे ना नोट्स बनाना शुरू कर दो. Let me show you. I recently went to conference in Kolkata, and these are some of my cards, right? Card here. I made this note here, right? And then notes here, and then, notes here. Sorry, that one fell. Okay, there's a note here, and then there is notes here. It's very important that you make notes, either on cards or on your phone book, whatever form works. Right? नहीं तो बहुत सारी conversations आपकी बाद में छूट जाएंगी in a rapid fire format जब आप लोगों से network कर रहे हो, एक से फिर दूसरे से फिर तीसरे से फिर चौथे से. It's very difficult for even a person with a good memory to remember all of those. So take notes. My style is to take on the cards. जब भी मैं cards पे लेता हूँ, I ask for permission and then I write. ऐसे नहीं लिखना. It's considered rude. Right? Some people make it on phone. That's either ways works. Okay? So before मैं अपने mindset build कर लिया that you're coming for relationships, during May, you're approaching people, talking to them about them, right? Keeping your introductions in your pocket, giving them when people ask for. Don't give stuff for free. People don't value it. Okay? You're taking interest in the life of people. If you can add value in the life, उनके लिए कुछ करो, किसी से connect करा दो, कुछ कर दो उनके लिए. And I know आपका fear आएगा, बोलोगे मैं जानता नहीं कैसे connect करा दूँ. बहुत simple है. Pick up the phone. The person that you're calling and say, hey, you know what? Let's say you're calling me. And you say, hey, Paritosh, I'm at this conference. I just met this person. And I thought this person could be of interest to you. Now, I've not worked with him before, Paritosh, but seems like someone who can add value. Would you want to meet him once? Right? And so you're giving a clear introduction कि भैया आप पहले से नहीं जानते. You don't know this person from before. And now it's on me whether I want to connect. If I say yes, you give me the phone, we talk, and then we carry it forward from there. I just did this while coming back from Kolkata. I did this at the airport. I went to the airport. I saw one gentleman. I've met him before in Chandigarh. Sitting, we started talking. And what he did in my mind went, okay, he does this. There's someone else who could need that. And I got them connected. And I said, you know what? I know this person from before. I've not done work with him, but this is what he does. Would you be interested? And they had a conversation. Okay. Add value, right? But just be there, relax, be yourself, right? Don't come under pressure कि कोई कैसे network कर रहा है, आपको कैसे करना है. You have to figure out what style of networking works for you and become really good at that. Okay. So before हो गया, during हो गया. Now let's come to after. सबसे important चीज़ है guys. ये ना हमेशा ध्यान रखना, success in networking comes from what you do after. कॉन्फ्रेंस पे आके नेटवर्क करना बहुत आसान है. मुझे पता है दुनिया को लगता है इट्स वेरी स्केरी, वेरी कैन बी पेनफुल समटाइम्स, बट वो जितना भी है ना बहुत आसान है. बट जो रियल सक्सेस आती है वो आती है फ्रॉम व्हाट यू डू आफ्टर. सो आपको स्टार्टिंग से, बिफोर से तैयारी करनी है आफ्टर को सही तरीके से करने के लिए. Now, ideally क्या होना चाहिए? If you have a multiple day conference, जिन लोगों से आप day 1 पे मिले हो, उनको day 1 के end पे एक simple gratitude message या email चला जाना चाहिए. That, let's say you met me and I receive a message saying, hey Paritosh, great to have met you today. Love that we spoke about this. Love what you're doing, right? And looking forward to connecting with you. अगर मैंने आपको बोला भी है मेरे को proposal भेजो, कुछ भेजो, day 1 पे don't really talk about it. It's okay. Okay? Because अभी मैं conference में busy हूँ, day 2 है, मैं day 2 में भी busy हूँगा. So it'll take some time for me to be able to go through your proposal. अगर आप मेरे को, even if you send me a proposal, in my inbox it'll keep going down every day. It'll take me 2-3 days to get to it. So don't really do it unless I've said aaj hi karo. Okay. So following up, do in 2 parts. Number 1, simple gratitude message, acknowledging the conversation you've had with the person. Okay, very simple. And part 2, जिन लोगों के साथ आपकी business opportunity की बात हुई है, उनसे follow up. Reach out, make it a priority. 1 दिन 2 दिन के लिए नहीं छोड़ना. Don't leave it for later, because you leave it for 1 or 2 days, it'll just keep getting left more and more and more. And after a few days, you'll be like, yaar, ab to bahut time ho gaya. A lot of time's gone by. Ab there's no point reaching out. Main unko bhul gaya hu, wo mere ko bhul gaye. And all those stories will start to come in. Okay? Let's summarize. Events conferences is a very important strategy. You need to be attending as many as you can. They serve a great business objective. Then, in order to win at that, divide it into 3 parts: before, during, and after. Before may define your goal, कि आपका exactly goal क्या है. अपना mindset build करो, समझो कि वहाँ पे सिर्फ transactions के लिए नहीं जाना है. It's okay for you to go for transactions, no problem. But सिर्फ transactions के लिए नहीं जाना है. Right? A little bit of relationships will also come in. Study the event, study the speakers, etc. Get to know them. So it becomes easier for you to get value out of that. During May, don't be a card dispensing machine. Don't do that. Okay? Take interest in people, add value in their life, take notes on the cards, network, right? Approach people, start conversations with them, about them, not about you. And most important, when you come back from a conference, take action. Don't leave it for later. It gets left for 1 or 2 days, it just gets left. Even today, if I don't take action on the same day, a lot of value gets missed out. And I end up realizing later, oh my God, I've made this mistake. So stop making this mistake. Reach out to people. Day 1, just a thank you note. And thereon, the follow-ups for the opportunities that have come up. All right, cool. If you're not here, subscribe to my channel, please do that. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching somewhere else, then you follow whatever, right? But more importantly, please leave your thoughts on this. What did you think? Was there a particular message here that resonated with you? What is that one thing that you're taking away from today? I'll look forward to hearing from you. And yes, of course, please tell me if there are other topics you would want to for me to publish a podcast on. I'll look forward to that. All right. Take care, guys. Happy networking. See ya.